Hey, this is Robert Truck. This is the newest episode of Fusion Fitness TV. Okay, it's 2 days after the Super Bowl. All the smoke is cleared. New Orleans Saints have won. And I'm actually pretty happy for them because I was kind of a fan of theirs for a long time. Especially during those days in the late 80s, early 90s, those Jim Mora teams with Sam Mills and Pat Swilling, Vaughn Johnson, and Ricky Jackson, who just got elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame as the linebacking squad. I don't think they ever won a playoff game even back then, though, so not much happened. Anyway, the Colts lost, and New Orleans won fairly convincingly, I have to say. As far as the normal reasons why I think the Colts lost and the Saints won, I think New Orleans' attitude was more of a winning attitude. They really seemed to want it. If you looked at games during the regular season, they would show the pre-game sort of huddles that Drew Brees led, and they were really full of adrenaline, and those guys really wanted it bad. And obviously they did that on Sunday. I do think the Colts missed having Dwight Freeney playing at his peak. The second half, he was kind of a non-factor. The first half he was a factor. But when Phil Simms brought up that point about the Colts defense is playing in unfamiliar territory and they're depending on their pass rush, the secondary is at least, the pass rush really wasn't there. Brees got all kinds of protection, and he was zinging these short passes, very accurate. He's a great quarterback. Number two, I don't like how the Colts, after doing that goal line stand right before the first half ended, they ran 3 running plays, didn't get anywhere, gave the ball back to New Orleans, who got a field goal, and then at the beginning of the second half, one of the most amazing, most gutsy calls I've ever seen. The Saints started off the second half, as we all know now, with an onside kick and got the ball, then drove down and scored. Peyton Manning, he had an okay game. He threw over for 300 yards, but I can't really lay the blame on him too much, but there was a few times when they really needed something from him. Yes, Garcon dropped a big pass in the first half. There's other problems. But congratulations to the New Orleans Saints. Who knows who's going to be in the mix next year? You can't tell anymore. Will Brett Favre be back? Who knows? Well, number 2, I'm coming along pretty good with my progressions, my exercise progressions, and it made me think about today's attitude about wanting it now, and people don't really want to put in the time to earn anything, and I've seen this from clients too. Exercise, like anything, you have to start sometimes and stay with some dull things for a little while so you have a foundation to build on the really cool stuff. And right now I'm still, like I said, I dialed everything back, and I'm still building up in this convict conditioning book here, especially towards one-arm push-ups, single-leg squats, a more advanced form of pull-up, all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm way at step 1, step 2 right now in all the exercises, really spending a lot of time just building up that base, getting tendon and ligament strength ready. And I also dialed back my kettlebell workouts. I am an RKC, a Russian kettlebell certified coach by Dragon Door. You might have heard of Pavel Satsulin. He's the one that teaches. He and his teachers, I guess you could call them, RKC seniors, I think they're called. They teach at these RKC seminars, and it's really good stuff, really good alignment stuff, strength work, learning how to move your body, because really it's not about so much the tool, even though this is a very cool tool. What it is an iron ball with a handle, right? And as you see, it hangs off the back of my arm, like so. And there's a lot of other exercises besides just pressing it over your head. There's some excellent ones. Turkish get-ups, swings, for instance. I'd say those are the two core exercises. Matter of fact, if you mastered those two exercises, you'd be pretty much set for a lot of things. Cardiovascular-wise, strength-wise, joint health-wise, you'd be in pretty good shape. Anyway, in July they're having an RKC2. That's the more advanced version, and less people take that. Mainly because the requirements to graduate during that weekend are pretty rigorous. I have to be able to press a kettlebell that's roughly half my body weight, and if you've never tried it before, with good form, without your shoulder coming up and getting all contorted, a nice powerful press, it's tough. I have to do a series of what they call Viking push presses, jerks, a single leg squat holding a kettlebell, all kinds of things. And I've dialed everything way back because I was starting to get niggling things in my shoulder, a little bit in this hip. And these are old injuries from running that I sort of addressed through the years, but now I'm really going after them. I used the functional movement screen, which I think I've mentioned before, found out where some of my weak points are, and working on those. And when I get step 1 done, I pile more advanced things on top of that, and then on top of that. And eventually, I hope to have all my muscles in my body working the way they're supposed to be working, not just some of them. Some of them asleep on the job, some of them not working when they're supposed to or how they're supposed to. Some of them taking too much load. Trying to get everything stacked so I'm strong, powerful, and even if I look strong, I have the strength to back it up. So the old strong as you look argument, right? Today's bodybuilder, many of them are definitely not as strong as they look. In fact, I don't even know if they look strong, today's bodybuilders. There's so many drugs and supplements involved too with most of them. There are the exceptions. There have been guys like Dorian Yates and so forth that were very strong and very, very pumped up. But I prefer the strength and the look of the guys of old, the guys from 70, 80, 100 years ago, even more than that. Those are the guys that really knew their stuff because their exercise was total body strength. They never look like these overinflated bozos that you see today, full of drugs and supplements, and their guts all a churning milkshake of a mess because of all this crap that shakes and crap that they put down there. They actually did it by hard work, and they really were very precise how they did it. They were very much aware of how they breathed, how they held muscles. Many of them, some of the best known ones, were very good at muscle control. And you can read all about this on the internet. You know that there's a lot of famous guys. In fact, if you want, on the next episode, I'll mention a couple. So that's where I'm going with this, my exercise. So ask yourself if you've done what it takes to earn it. Are you in too much of a hurry? If you've been sitting around for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, if you've been eating junk food most of the time, and then suddenly want to rock it up to full intensity exercise, you ought to think more than twice about that. You got to pay your dues. If you're willing to do that, just like anything else, building a business, no matter what it is, it's going to work. And that's why I love exercise. This is my realm because I know if I do certain things in a certain way, I'm going to get results. I just know it. Other people maybe aren't sure or they're not willing to wait. So take my word for it. If you do build in a progressive, systematic manner where the effort gets a little harder, you give your body a chance to adapt, which it definitely needs, the results will come. The weight loss will come, the muscles, the strength, the tone, the shape, everything. The cardio, it'll all come. So, football season is officially over, but my winter is in full gear. I'm inside working out hard. Once the doors come open and the sun comes out, I hope to be in some of the best shape I've been in a long time.